Good evening, Mr. Lama. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for something versatile. For defense, sporting, hunting. Something big, bold.
Might I recommend the Benelli M4? Semi-automatic 12-gauge shotgun. 18.5-inch barrel, 5+2 shell capacity. Based on the weapon designed for the U.S. Marine Corps. Textured grips and Cerakoted body in case you get wet.
This is Iowa. Where am I going to get wet?
Lakes, rivers, rain.
Okay, I'll take it. What's this?
Federal background checks for purchase of any firearm. Same as it's always been.
Yeah, I know, just takes you out of the moment.
Do enjoy your new firearm, Mr. Lama.
Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to the Phantom Llama's Den. I highly recommend hitting the like button and subscribing for future awesome content. Today I'm giving my personal take on the Benelli M4 combat shotgun, or as the US military refers to it, the M1014. In the intro, I said that the M4 is based on the weapon that was designed for and adopted by the US Marine Corps. But the M4 and the M1014 are essentially the same thing, with a couple just minor distinct differences. First off, the biggest difference is the magazine capacity. Being an Italian product and therefore an imported shotgun, the Benelli M4 and all Benelli shotguns are subject to gun laws that restrict the magazine capacity of imported shotguns. Any imported shotgun into the US can have no more than a 5-round capacity if it's being sold to civilians. Yay, gun laws. Secondly, the civilian variant of the M4 comes with swappable chokes. As far as I know, and I could be wrong, maybe things have changed, but the military M1014 does not have a swappable choke. Right? It is just a combat shotgun, whereas this can be configured for skeet and trap shooting, for slugs, and for buckshot. The third difference is the sort of kind of difference. The M1014 has a collapsible adjustable stock, whereas the civilian model, the civilian variant, mine obviously is a set stock. You can get the civilian M4 with a collapsible stock. Last I saw, the M1014 only came with a collapsible adjustable stock. Not a real difference because you can get that on the civilian model, but it was worth mentioning. Before we move on, I just want to disclose my relationship with Benelli. What? You guys actually thought I was sponsored by Benelli? I mean, it would be great, but let's be honest. So, why the Benelli M4? I'll be honest, it's not because of John Wick, although I do love those films. Actually, I only just saw all 3 of the John Wick movies a couple months ago for the first time. Great movies, very entertaining, but I can honestly say it had absolutely nothing to do with my purchase of this shotgun. I really like shotguns. Nothing can truly compare to the all-around versatility, and let's be honest, stop power that a quality shotgun can deliver. That said, I've made some pretty rookie mistakes when shopping around and purchasing my previous shotguns. This time I decided this is going to be the last one. The next shotgun I buy is going to be my last. At least my last primary shotgun. I knew I wanted a tube-fed shotgun for easy reloads, and I really did prefer something that was semi-automatic. After a little bit of research, the Benelli M4 really started to stick out, so I started reading into its history. In 1998, the US military opened a contract for a new semi-automatic combat shotgun, and the Italian company Benelli answered. They developed and designed the Benelli M4 Super 90 combat shotgun, which eventually became the M4. In 1999, the US officially adopted the M4 into service for the US Marine Corps. Since then, armed forces and law enforcement agencies around the globe have adopted its use as their primary combat shotgun. With that kind of pedigree, I really felt confident in thinking that this shotgun, the Benelli M4, was the kind of firearm that had that high level of reliability, accuracy, and effectiveness that I was looking for, especially in a use case for home defense and defensive purposes. After checking out the M4 in person, actually this very one, I was pretty sold. Everything about this gun just feels premium. Mine is the Benelli M4 H2O model, which means it's Cerakoted, which helps protect against additional corrosion that would be caused by salt water. Because, you know, living in the Midwest, we have a lot of that. The pistol grip and the handguard are excellent. The texturing and the materials used allow you to maintain a firm grip on it without actually fatiguing. I personally wear gloves, especially when I'm shooting my Benelli, because I like a C-grip on the barrel. And let me tell you, you don't want to be gripping this barrel after a couple shots. It's pretty hot. The body and all the moving parts feel solid. There is nothing about this that makes it feel cheap. It is a heavier shotgun, but I personally like the weight. It definitely feels quality. The trigger is fantastic. It is about an 8.5 pound pull, but there is very little play. Benelli makes a really good trigger. Now, some people have stated that they aren't a big fan of the buttstock on this. They say it's a little too long for them. Now, it's all about personal preference and, of course, your own build. For my build, this feels, it's a very natural feeling stock. I don't have any problem with this stock. In all, there is nothing about this shotgun that makes me feel like corners have been cut. Everything feels premium. Everything feels well put together, well manufactured, and you feel like you are getting a top-end firearm. Now, in the intro, you heard me say that the Benelli M4 is a 5+2 shotgun. Some people will refer to it as a 5+1+1, but I refer to it as a 5+2. The reason that it's a +1+1 or a +2 is that it is very easy to ghost load around into the Benelli M4. And I'll demonstrate this real quickly with dummy rounds here. We have 3 dummy rounds. What you first do, load one onto the riser, chamber it. Then you would load the tube. You would throw your 5 2 3/4 rounds in. Then, when you're done, pull it back, load it onto the riser here. Okay. Then load around into the tube. Then you pull back just far enough where it releases from the extractor. Let it go forward a little bit. Then you can load one back in to the chamber. All right, there are 3 rounds in here. And if you watch, because these are dummy rounds, it will not automatically feed the round from the tube. So there's one in the chamber, out, loaded the second one. That was the one that was being floated or ghosted. Now see, nothing's coming out, but if we hit the release, there's the 3rd round. You can do that with a lot of shotguns. Some are easier than others, but the manual for the M1014 and the M4 actually shows how to ghost load. So it is considered a common feature for the Benelli M4. Having that extra round is a fantastic feature of this gun. I have never had more fun shooting a shotgun than this Benelli. I can easily shoot 100 rounds at the range and then be sad when the last box of shells is empty. I have never had so much fun shooting steel targets consistently at 100 yards with a shotgun with the iron sights. I consider that to be a very solid weapon platform, and that I can shoot through 100 shells any given day and come home and then maybe even go out the very next day and do the same thing. That says something about a shotgun. Again, it's a shotgun. It has kick, but compared to other shotguns that I've fired, this is the most pleasant experience I've ever had shooting a shotgun. Let's get into the teardown. Teardown of the M4 is very simple, and that makes sense because, again, this was commissioned to be a combat shotgun. This was commissioned to be a service shotgun in the field. So if something went wrong, you had to be able to field strip and get it working and back together very quickly. So let's go ahead and tear this down real quick. First, you would take off the magazine cap here. That will allow the barrel and handguard to come out. The handguard splits in half there. I'm not going to put this barrel on my couch. Then, to remove the bolt carrier assembly, you just pull the charging handle out, and that allows the bolt carrier to just freely come out. And you have a field stripped shotgun. It's that simple. Putting it back together is obviously just the same process, but in reverse. They even for those of us that are directionally challenged, they label the handguard pieces left and right. Fantastic. Gotta love the Italians. One thing I wanted to note before I reassemble the shotgun here, this is literally the gas operating system here. Very easy to clean. It is a very simple, ingenious design, and it is part of the reason why this gun can go so long between cleanings and servicings. All right, if it sounds like I'm fanboying a little bit or a lot over this shotgun, that's fair. I kinda am. Aside from my M1 Garand, this is probably my favorite firearm that I own. It's versatile, it's accurate, it's reliable, and that's what you want in a defense weapon. My only complaint about the Benelli M4, and this has nothing to do with Benelli, my only complaint is the magazine capacity. It's supposed to have a 7-round tube. 9 shots in a shotgun is a lot better, especially in a defensive weapon, than a 5+2. 2 rounds might not sound like a lot, but it is. That said, there are ways that you can legally put a full capacity magazine on this shotgun. I'm going to put a link to the company's YouTube channel down in the description. I highly recommend you check them out if you're looking at a Benelli shotgun, because they talk about the requirements for modifying this shotgun so you can legally have the full capacity 7-round tube on here. Spoiler alert, it's ridiculous. It just proves that some gun laws make absolutely 0 sense. This is a top tier shotgun. That said, you are paying a very high premium for a top tier firearm. The last time I checked, the Benelli M4, depending on the variant, the H2O model is unfortunately the most expensive variant. They run around $2,000, the Benelli M4, let alone the Cerakoted H2O model. It's a hefty price tag. You get what you pay for. If you're looking for an effective defense shotgun, you do not need a Benelli M4. Would I recommend the Benelli? Absolutely. I have no regrets. I am in love with this shotgun, if you haven't already figured that out. But there are plenty of other options that are much friendlier on the wallet. You have the Mossberg 500, you have the Beretta 1301, which honestly I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of that used in military situations. And you can even go with something on the lower end like the Benelli Supernova. It pretty much, it looks similar to this, but it's a pump shotgun, and it's, gosh, what is it, $400 or $500. So it's a quarter of the cost. It's accurate, it has quite a bit more kick, but it is a very effective shotgun. And that leads me to my final point, and I've said this in a couple different videos now. As cool as this gun is, and I'm echoing a lot of the other gun YouTubers here, as cool as this gun is, as much as I love this gun, it means nothing unless you actually use it, unless you actually train with it. If you are not proficient with the firearms you own, whether it's a shotgun, a rifle, or a pistol, you are going to be a bigger liability, a bigger threat to the world, despite your intentions. Get training, practice, go to the range, and learn how to properly handle your gun. Learn how it reacts. Every gun, even the same make of gun, every gun is going to have its own little quirks, kind of like a car. So that's our review of the Benelli M4. It is a top tier combat shotgun. I highly recommend it. It's definitely worth the coin. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please consider leaving a like, comment, and even hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon for future content. We've got a lot more stuff coming on the way. You don't want to miss out. Until next time, don't take life too seriously and make it a great day.